here's another like one take vlog, hopefully talking about how you can post stuff on social media and help your career. If you've been following this vlog, you'll know that I started Double Jump Audio as a way to free up my time by sharing my creative projects with friends and colleagues such as Valentine and other people that we contract, in order for me to have more time to work on other projects around game audio and video games in general. Things like helping Greg on GameAudioLearning.com version 2.0, helping behind the scenes with Airwiggles, and also teaching, creating content such as my Fmod tutorial and the Fmod challenges course that Valentine and I put together. And I guess I want to talk a little bit about what led me to create these tutorials and why it has helped and how you can do something similar. Thanks to these tutorials now, recently I was invited to go to Game SoundCon in Los Angeles, and it was fantastic. Officially giving workshops for Fmod is kind of like a weird dream side gig for me that I never thought would happen. And giving half a dozen workshops over 2 days was a lot of work, but super fun. And the convention itself is fantastic. I highly recommend it to anybody who can afford to go. I've definitely made some friends for life in the industry, which is fantastic. And this all came about because I started making content for Fmod, and one thing led to another, which is fantastic. So basically doing what I'm doing in Double Jump is still working. I'm still getting more opportunities from my free time, which is great. But I didn't start making these tutorials. In fact, if you go back to my YouTube, you'll see a bunch of videos of me doing like Foley and talking about other stuff. And indeed on my social medias as well, I'm posting sporadically over the last few years, trying to figure out what to do, posting shorts, posting photos, posting stuff that other people have created, whatever it might be. Hopefully this instills you with a little bit of confidence to know that we don't really know what we're doing straight away. We have to figure it out. So the first piece of advice I have for anybody wanting to post online but a little bit anxious about it or scared is remember that you don't have to reinvent the wheel, you just have to join the conversation. And that can be done super simply. Find something that somebody else has created that is super useful to you and repost it. It could be a vlog, it could be a video, a tutorial, whatever it might be, something that you genuinely found very helpful, and repost it. Because not everybody would have seen it, and you're helping the community by resharing it to make sure other people who haven't seen it yet do. This also does another thing, which is showing that you are participating in these communities so that you start to look like you know what you're talking about, even if you're just starting out, right? So by me posting tutorials of Fmod, which are not groundbreaking by any means, I'm just regurgitating the document in a format that I find useful. I am presenting myself as somebody who knows what they're talking about. Whether I do or not is up for debate. But the point is that my potential clients, whether they click on the videos or not, will see these and see that I'm contributing to the community, and that starts to develop trust and show that I am dedicated to this, so that if they did hire me, they're not worried about me changing my mind a month later and doing something else, right? So joining the conversation, repost something that you found super useful lately and just use that as a starting block. The other thing, find people that you look up to, people who you would like to mirror in terms of careers. For instance, it could be somebody who works at a AAA studio, it could be a composer, and backtrack on their social media posts or their YouTube channel. Look what they first started posting about. Look what they're posting about now. And basically use that as a kind of a template of what you can start doing as well. Find inspiration. You'll be very surprised by this, but more often than not, you'll see that a lot of people don't really know what they're doing to start off with. They're kind of posting very randomly or sporadically, and then eventually a pattern starts to emerge and they start to pick up some sort of traction, something that kind of speaks to them and is easy for them to post about, right? Some sort of a niche perhaps, which we're all slowly trying to find. So that's totally valid, by the way. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Find something that somebody else has done really well and then go back and see where they started if you can. The other thing is to start small by joining super welcoming communities like Airwiggles, like many Discord servers like Game Dev London, and there are many, many others, but basically starting off in places that are going to be nice to you and positive in their feedback. And you'll see what I mean, especially in places like Airwiggles. Everybody's very welcoming and encouraging, and that will build your confidence, because again, I didn't have this confidence starting out. I had very little confidence, and it got better as I posted. So making a start, very important. Start small, repost something that somebody else has made, check out other people who you look up to and see what they did, and know that it takes years to figure out what you want to post, and it's okay to take breaks. Post a few things this month, take a break for a couple, and figure out what else you want to post after that. Doesn't have to be consistent, does not have to be stressful. Just think about what you can provide for the community and what you can contribute. Remember also that marketing, which this all is, by the way, posting on social media, is very important. And whether you like social media or not, it's very important for a creative career, especially nowadays. Whether you want to be working in a studio or going freelance the whole time, it still applies. It's still very important to show up in these social circles. But remember that marketing isn't this big fancy thing that you have to plan out. It's simply reminding people that you exist. You're just posting to remind people, hey, I'm still here, I'm still dedicated, here's something useful.